Kingdom Hearts is my favorite game of all time, and just like all the other fans, I know that the series has a story with a bit of a reputation for being difficult to understand. It gets easier as you dive in, but there are to this day some things that are not yet explained. And today, I'm going to talk about the thing that has been bugging me about Kingdom Hearts for years. A plot hole that is never explained, never so much as hinted at, and it was in the very beginning of the series, before we ever had nobodies, multiple Keyblade wielders, or 37 villains who are actually the same guy. It's Pluto. Where the heck is Pluto during the events of Kingdom Hearts 1? Let me explain. So at the start of Kingdom Hearts 1, Donald walks in to greet King Mickey. Shortly after realizing Mickey is gone, Pluto pokes his head from around the throne with a letter in his mouth from Mickey. This is the first time you see Pluto in the game. Donald quacks off to go tell Goofy what just happened. Donald actually electrocutes Goofy awake and tells him what's happening, and the Queen and Daisy overhear. As far as we can see, Pluto is not in this scene. Apparently Pluto just went to go take a nap in the study after delivering the letter. I guess he's not concerned about Mickey, which is crazy if he knows where Mickey is going. In this scene, Goofy, Donald, and for some reason, Jiminy Cricket decide to go find Mickey. They do not discuss bringing Pluto with them. Goofy and Donald make their way to the gummy ship, and as you watch the scene, you don't see Pluto with them. In addition, the hands that Chip and Dale use to pick up Donald and Goofy do not pick up Pluto. So I don't think they plan to bring Pluto. But yet, at the last second, Pluto leaps out, seemingly making it onto the gummy ship, though we do not see him land on it. Real quick, I think it's really funny that you can see Donald in the cockpit here, but then when they show the cockpit again before the drop, the cockpit is clearly empty. But then again, when it's falling, you can actually see a Goof in there, but not Donald. Then again, as the ship is sharded out of the planet, you see the cockpit is indeed, once again, Goofy Goofless. And more importantly, because he's the pilot, Donald Duckless. Anyway, Goofy and Donald arrive in Traverse Town, and as they are walking, you see Pluto walking with them. They don't acknowledge him, but I guess Pluto stowed away and they're just going with it. Pluto wanders into the alley to find Sora, and finally, Goofy does acknowledge Pluto, telling him, "Come on, Pluto!" So they clearly acknowledge Pluto is supposed to stay with them. Anyway, Pluto licks Sora, 100% gives him a chest compressions, has the most delayed ear raise ever to signify he heard Goofy call out to him. "Come on, Pluto!" And then Pluto runs off. And this is it. From this point on, you never see Pluto again. Throughout the entirety of Kingdom Hearts 1, there is no cutscene, no gameplay, no dialogue, not even a text box mentioning where the heck Pluto went off to. It is never mentioned. Ever. No one asks where's Pluto. There's no scene showing him napping in the gummy ship. Nothing. He is just absent until the very last post-credit scene of the game where they see Pluto has yet another letter for them from Mickey Mouse. So where did Pluto go? So remember how there's a weird amount of space between when Goofy calls out to Pluto and when Pluto raises his ear to hear it? What if he's not actually hearing Goofy, but someone else? Maybe someone else whistled out for Pluto, and maybe that someone had opened a corridor of darkness for a more than willing Pluto to use at his whim, as we would later see him do, like, a lot. But why would Pluto wander into the darkness? Well, at some point after he assaulted Sora, he had to have found himself in the realm of darkness, because that's where Mickey was. So Pluto had to have encountered Mickey in the realm of darkness, been given the letter to give Sora that we see him holding later. So if that's what happened, if Pluto just wandered off into the darkness, found Mickey, got the letter and came back at the end of the game, who called out to him to lure him into the dark corridor? Mickey doesn't open those. Could it have been?
Fill me with the power of darkness.
Well, probably not Ansem, because helping Pluto find Mickey doesn't really help his, master plan. But what about Marluxia? See, even though in real life Marluxia was not a canon character yet, retroactively we now know Marluxia was active during the events of Kingdom Hearts 1. If you have played Chain of Memories, you know that Marluxia's plan was to use Naminé to manipulate Sora into helping him overthrow the Organization 13 leadership. If Marluxia showed up in Traverse Town, he could have opened a portal and had Pluto meet up with Mickey to ensure Sora goes and searches for Riku, so that Marluxia can then lure Sora to Castle Oblivion later. If not Marluxia himself, maybe he sent Larxene. But I kind of doubt it, because Larxene, she's not exactly sneaky or subtle enough for an operation like this.
I'm a bad guy, so you have to go through me.
Now, it is a very convoluted plan for Marluxia to bother doing when he could have just lured Sora to Castle Oblivion before he even got the letter. I mean, he literally could have just said the name
Rico,
and Sora would have just chased him all the way to Agrabah. And obviously none of this is canon because we all know the real answer is that Nomura just didn't plan that far ahead. He didn't think Pluto's continuity was something worth planning out as to avoid silly videos like this popping up on the internet. But if we're going for a more likely canon explanation, there could have just been another way for Pluto to get into the Realm of Darkness. The events of Kingdom Hearts 1 are harrowing enough, and there are Heartless everywhere. Pluto probably could have just found another way in. Maybe his ear going up was indeed yet another game development quirk of the early 2000s. And maybe he did really just have a huge delay between experiencing something and reacting to it. It would not be the only time a delayed reaction happened in Kingdom Hearts 1.
You help us, and we grant you your wish.
Kyrie! So however he did it, it's pretty clear that from Traverse Town, Pluto must have barked right off to the Realm of Darkness, had adventures in the realm for however long it takes Sora to complete 8.5 worlds, found Mickey somehow, and brought back the letter by the end of the credits. So the next time someone asks you where Pluto is in Kingdom Hearts 1, you can tell them with like 65% confidence, he was hanging out in the Realm of Darkness. And you can also rest assured, with confidence, that Donald and Goofy do not give a fuck about their dog.